Welcome back, guys. Generic Green Wings starting off with a bang. 2 wins in a row. Pretty fast at that. Looking to end CJ Entis' win streak. Will they do it? They are 1 game away. We're about to go into Rogue versus Hush.
Yep. And taking a look at predictions first, I am the only one who thinks that Hush is going to take this.
Wow, I thought there were more going for Hush, actually.
Now, I base this off a few things, but mostly just based off of Rogue's recent poor performances, as well as, he had a bit of nerves. And, I'm like, genius. Okay.
We were on the Korean stream for
this happened now 3 times in a row where they put me on the Korean stream. I was the only guy who votes for somebody. I win every time. The one time Zone won and no one else voted for him, wasn't even here. But
they put you on stream anyway. You're back at your house in your underwear. You're like, oh, my God, what's going on? No, but let's see if you can pull out some black magic once again.
Yeah.
Rogue here, he does have that upwards arrow. But like you're saying, he's not doing well in individual leagues. I mean, he did get round of 8 last season. I think in both leagues, actually. But after that, he kind of just like fell off the face of the planet and just losing 0-3 to Hurricane. And he shows a ton of nerves. He got so close to actually being kicked out of SSL in the first season.
Yeah.
You remember in that group stage in the round of 16, he went down to losers match. He was like down 1 game, and then he's like, oh, wait, I'm Rogue. I'm really good at this game. Let me not get into my head and just play my game. And he actually made it out.
Yeah.
Biggest thing for Rogue is his nerves. If he can get them under control, he can win this game. But can Hush throw him for a loop? That's the question. Hush, they talk about so much Hush. Hero talks about him all the time. He's like, oh, I talked to my boy Hush. He gives me all these builds. Sky High, same thing. He's like, Hush has got all the builds. He knows so much about this game. He must be so smart, and he must be the best practice partner in the world.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This guy also has a pretty good record at 3-1. I mean, his record last season as well was insanely consistent. He had a really high win rate. They didn't use him all the time. They didn't use him very often. But when they used him, he won a lot of the time.
A lot of them were against Paradoxus. He's definitely really good in that matchup, but I feel like we have yet to see his potential in other ones. Can he do it here up against Rogue? It is so important. Everything relies on CJ Entis right now to keep their undefeated streak going here. But, guys, let's jump into the game right now. Game number 3, Deadwing, Rogue versus Hush. Up here in the top right, in the green for the Generic Green Wings, it is Rogue.
And his opponent to the bottom left in yellow for CJ Entis, it's Hush. Cross spawns here. I feel like nerves really play into this. If Hush is able to get into Rogue's head even at all in the early game, I think things could collapse, fall apart. Like, for example, if he cannons early, and that would be crazy to do on Deadwing, right? But if he's able to do something like that, if he gets any sort of early edge, Rogue needs to make sure he can keep his wits about him, because this is, I feel like, his biggest weakness right now. And the reason why, again, I was the only person who voted for Hush here, but that's why I give him the edge. And I'm very serious about this. I actually wrote the prediction down, deleted it, and then wrote Hush in because I was like, you know what? No, I don't think Rogue's going to win this. I was actually a bit surprised that that he actually, that nobody else voted for him. In fact, is what I'm trying to.
So was I. Here. So was I. I was thinking about it. I told you actually when you told me your predictions. I was like, this was actually probably the hardest pick for me. And funnily enough, we get 5-1 predictions. Not sure if that really represents how close this match is entirely. I'd say it definitely does not. And especially because I feel like there's just so much potential, like I was talking before the game started here from Hush, that we just haven't seen yet. And maybe this is his chance to pull CG back into this game. To be honest, I thought that Rogue was going to be going up against an 0-2 score. And that actually almost factored in to my decision. I almost voted for Hush because I thought Rogue was going to be down 0-2. Because I predicted both Hero and Biel to win those games. So I was like, oh, he's going to be down 0-2. He could be nervous.
That's definitely something that I didn't even think about when I was going to my prediction. That's a really good point.
But look at this. I mean, he's up 2-0. And so to be honest, now I actually like my decision because I'm like, well, he's going to be flying free, man. He has nothing to lose.
Look at this, by the way. Just on this, not to cut you off here, but
sure.
This is was going to be a double hatch before pool out of Rogue. And he sees this probe come in here, and now he's really concerned because his pool is so late about a cannon.
Yeah, he's freaking out, though. I think he knows now because there's not even a pylon coming down, so he's like, well.
Yeah. Well, you know, even if he was going to cannon rush, he can't anymore now, so he should at least relax for a second because that probe at 5 health is not going to get anything done. It's way too late now, too. He's just going to come in here and verify the pool timing. Also wants to check and see if there's a gas. He's like, is it a Ravager rush? He's like, oh, no, the wrong game. And he comes in here and is just going to check around. He misses this drone come down, which is going to make a, sub 4-minute hatch here, it looks like, down at that third base. Oh no, just a transfer. Thought he was going to really rush that out, skip queens for a second, because it looked like that was like the plan from the beginning was to get a fast third base, but
yeah. But that probe did so much damage, actually. It got all the scouting information, first of all, but it forced 4 drones to be pulled for a very long time, and the third base doesn't get up. So it's like most valuable probe of the game, basically, so far.
Yeah. And
if he makes a pylon for like a follow-up push out of Hush, I'm like, well, we should just give that guy a word. Let's interview that guy.
It's actually chrono boosting out a Stalker here, and he checks this. Oh, look at that!
Nice.
That was a very scary move there from Rogue. He's like, oh, are you cannon me or what's going on? Okay. Just a probe. I got Lings out. These 2 Lings are going to get in here, but the Stalker's about to pop. That chrono boost is going to help him come out. It's actually going to get into the main base, though, which is a bit annoying, and there's no Mothership Core either. So it's going to delay his tech a lot. That's kind of annoying. A Sentry could have followed this up. Oh, got to keep running there, Stalker. Don't care if you got pony trot legs, still got to keep running.
Yeah. And 1 Ling actually makes the way. Hush does know about this, and he is going to find it right now.
Yep. No, that's no Lysera Ling there. That didn't help Lysera against life either. But look at how this game plays out. Already with all the chrono boosts we see from Hush and with his build, he actually has until just now he had a lead in workers. He's been powering those probes out quite heavily, and is actually looks like poised to maybe even take a rush third base at that secondary ramp.
Looks like it.
Without a Stargate, without anything behind
this. Not a forge. He's just making like straight up sentries, I guess, after that Stalker.
He has to keep this hidden though. A Ling is coming. Ooh, Stalker need to get down there. Okay, chases the Ling away. Got to keep that Overlord away as well. This is so important if you're going to hide this. Yeah. He like hides a fourth base over here. I'm like, wait a minute.
He's gaining some information from SOS's play.
Uh-oh, quick Roach Warren. Could, he's probably getting this to be safe, but it could actually end up being attack-worthy if he scouts this base.
Mm-hmm. That probe gets scouted, by the way. And he wants to keep that hidden that he knows about it.
Uh-oh, is that Ling going to check this? Yep. 2 Lings, in fact. Confirmed. So now what's he going to do? Is he going to attack, or is he going to play greedy in response? It's a lot of sentries here. You know what? He could actually just do a big attack with +1. The way this forge is coming up. Let's wait and see. I'm getting really excited about this.
Yeah, man. I'm sitting forward in my chair. I'm like, oh my god, looking like a Lysera right now, just watching this game.
You really do.
Hallucination Scout coming through.
Okay, 9 drones on the way. So if he is going to attack, he's definitely going to do it a little bit later. Lair coming down, Evolution Chamber as well. So looks like he's just going to let this base go, at least for now.
I like it. Just try to get ahead, maybe get your 4th base up a little bit faster. Cross spawns here. It's going to be so hard to get everything over there and then break all of the sentries that he knows Hush is following up with. He's already got 3. And look at what Hush is throwing down. He's got Twilight plus Robotics. And, the +1 is coming through here. More sentries. I think we're just going to see straight up, that standard kind of PvZ meta. Lots of Blink Stalkers, lots of sentries, lots of pressure.
+1 for Lings. Interesting. The sentry attack that's coming across here, it's just meant to force Lings and to stop droning. It's not going to kill anybody. It's not going to win any games. It's just going to force some units and recall. Infestation
Pit. That's a quick
as well.
Infestation Pit. And guys, that is not for Swarmos.
That's for Infestors.
It's not for Swarmos, I'll tell you that.
They got removed from the game.
Yeah, they removed that from the game just in case you guys didn't know. In the last patch, you might want to check that out.
They're like almost as removed as the Warhound. Like just 1 degree less removed.
Yeah.
Ling Infestor. We've seen it in Wings of Liberty. We haven't really seen it too much in Heart of the Swarm. We saw it a little bit. Life was using it a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to use an old name, but he was playing in Heart of the Swarm. Coco was using it again.
Whoa. Didn't that guy go to League of Legends? And then
yeah, and then he came back, and well...
Yeah. That was the end of his story.
He quit shortly after. Yeah. Well, a few more gates being added here. Blink as well. It's starting to look like that attack I was talking about. Can he hit before Infestors? There's also a Spire coming up. This is probably just going to be for Corruptors, but he could also switch to Mutalisk later. He's kind of got a lot of options here. Is rushing Hive even.
Yeah,
that's
so
not
it's
what I
not even
expected.
going to be Infestors here. Infestation Pit solely just for the Hive upgrade.
Yeah, that surprises me. So I guess, okay, well, it's going to be both.
Yep.
Vipers, definitely something we're going to see next. Could see Ultralisk, too, off 3 base.
No glands, by the way, for the Infestors.
Yeah, so these Infestors are going to need to build some energy. This is weird.
Definitely a different style we're seeing here out of Rogue.
Oh, I don't.
There was a Zerg, actually, I think it was yesterday, who played this way against Protoss and just used a lot of Ling Roach. It was on Sageham Station. Why can't I think of it?
This is when I need my boy Moonglade.
He definitely remembers that game.
I got to call him
He
up
keeps
right now.
every single Zerg game stored in his brain forever.
By the way, worker count's dead even right now. Very worker light right now, Rogue. And with how many probes Hush has made and the way he's kind of trying to hit this with a Warp Prism, I feel like he's just designed to kill a 4th base or do some damage here and then escape. Recall will still work under Fungal, and he's going to need that to escape because Fungals will lock these units down. Should he end up getting in an awkward position, he's going to have to recall. Sentries can't move forward on their own. If they get trapped like that, they can't really do a lot of damage. They can't cast Force Fields like they'd like to. Okay, attacking in 2 different directions now. Pushing this creep back and threatening with the Warp Prism. You see all those units for Rogue in the main base?
Warp Prism is so scary because he has so many gateways. So many gateways. See the Fungals. He gets a huge Fungal. He even traps the Mothership Core. He has to recall.
Here comes that Warp Prism. And as I was predicting earlier, we are going to see Ultralisk here. 3 Mutalisks on the map going to help shut down Warp Prisms.
Yeah, we actually saw a game in GSL, I think Codes, Rogue versus Hero, where Rogue tried to do this on Sageham Station, actually. He just used 3 Mutalisks, only 3, just to solely shut down the Warp Prism harass that's very popular with Protosses against Zerg these days.
Storm is not going to be very useful here. And we do see the triple Stargate. I'm going to check with my cheat code computer if he's seen the Ultralisk Cavern, because I don't think that he has. A Greater Spire is on the way, so Void Ray's going to be pretty good against that. You know, obviously Tempest, even though they got nerfed, somewhat good against this. That's some part of the reason why I feel like we're seeing this Greater Spire here.
Oh, man. Fungal gets down. He catches the Mothership Core again. He has a recall, but he's not using it.
He wants to trade here, I guess, but I think he needs to get out.
Losing so many units.
This is a terrible trade. Look at the supplies.
Look at the supplies and look at the tech of Rogue at the same time. Hush does have 4 bases, but he's making this gigantic transition into a ton of Void Rays. It's an interesting idea. He's also going to have Storm. He has so much tech on the way.
He needs Immortals to continue to be produced. But the scary part for him here is he doesn't know, because he has no Scouting Race. He has to keep sending hallucinations with the 6 sentries he has. Whether or not he's making Broodlords or Ultras, or both. Which, in fact, it is going towards the route of a little bit of both at this point. He's getting upgrades for everything here. Adrenal Glands, you know, they're going to be buffed in the new expansion, but not yet. We have Ultras, Chitinous Plating, Pathogen Glands for more Infestors. He has to keep sending those Hallucination Scouts to decide exactly what he wants to build here. He's going totally Colossus free here, so the Storms on the Lings have to be very good. He also would like to get a feedback or 2 on those Infestors if he can.
They have to be perfect here. He needs to engage in a choke against all those things. Oh, look at these 3 little Mutos, so cute, coming in here doing some damage. It's going to force something back. Maybe even not. They could get so much damage done. Big attack coming in.
He needs to target those Ultralists with the Void Rays. He needs to run away from those infested Terrans first. Immortals here doing some work, but the sentries get popped first. And the Void Rays are fighting infested Terrans. No targeting here for Hush. He's just going to roll over and die. He's just going to roll over and die.
That's what's going to happen here, man.
This 4th base is toast. And back at home, adding more Queens to help deal with the Void Rays, adding Ultras. The Queen's not only going to help deal with the Void Rays, but they're also going to be able to transfuse these Ultras. A few cannons here, and an Archon to block the ramp.
Ooh, that's cute, but
it's not going to be enough. Well, I mean, it is going to be enough to hold for now, but it's not going to be enough to turn this game around. He needs another good engagement, and he needs another base.
Nice little Warp Prism harass coming over here.
He did not have +3 during that fight either. That was a tough situation there for Hush, but his control just was really off.
Yeah. Let's see what he can do here. He's going to try to take that 4th base. He kind of just has to defend from here and try to get up a death ball of some sort, but it's really up to Rogue to shut him down before he even gets there. You see Rogue taking a 5th base. It's not really his plan here. He just wants to kill Hush right now.
These Stalkers are almost dying out in the middle of the map. He needs to be so careful. Every unit he has is so critical right now. The Zealot Harass is the only thing that's keeping him back. Now this Mothership is, I feel personally, a good idea in this specific scenario because it's going to allow him to cloak his units defensively. I don't usually like motherships all that much in this matchup just simply because they get yoinked, but we haven't seen a single Viper yet. It's a desperate move, but desperate times call for desperate measures. If he can cloak his units defensively, force him overseers it again, buys him some more time. It's expensive, though.
Nice little run by once again. It's going to target down that weakened hatchery. Now Rogue only on 3 base, but he's got a terrifying army comp. He's around on the front doorstep of Hush. Looks like one Ultra may be able to finish off those Zealots. Oh, and here we go. Big fight about to happen now.
The Infestors need to get up here if they can, because even with this many Corruptors, that's prismatic alignment on those borders. He's going to make quick work, plus all these Stalkers he has here. Just so much. It's so much Zerg here. There's not enough Protoss. Even if he holds, he's going to lose too many workers. He's already lost 24. He's going to lose this base most likely as well. I can't tell how many hit points it has. Okay, yeah, it's got a lot, but still. Man, look at all these queens here now he has to contend with.
Yeah, he's right on the front doorstep. Void Rays are popping out a couple at a time, but they're just doesn't seem like enough. So many infested Terrans doing a ton of AA. And a nice little run by here once again into the main, but really, the problem for Hush lies rather in that third base, in that natural.
Yeah, look at the production tab. There's like a whole lot of nothing going on here for Hush versus massive production constantly heading his way. Look at the bank for Rogue as well. I did not think we were going to see a 3-0 in this matchup. Would have bet my life against it.
Jin Air came out to play today. I thought we were going to have a very, very even matchup with these two teams. I thought it would be very likely we'd go to an ace match. But CJ Entis, their dreams of getting an undefeated season, or rather rounds here, go into the dirt pretty much.
So we saw some old school Wings of Liberty today. We saw 5-Rax Reaper. We saw Ling Infestor Ultra.
Come on.
We saw those back to back.
And Hush now just doesn't want to leave. He knows he's the last hope for his team.
Just trying to hang on. The Mutalisks getting a bit ahead of themselves here. The Stalker's in a good position to kind of blink back here. Even Probes in stop positions just to kill the gateway. But those Queens are getting into position now, and that should be enough. GG! Jin Air takes the clean sweep. Even though they wanted the 3-1, they won't be able to pass CJ, but this does give them second place.
Very nice last little matchup here against CJ Entis, taking out the top team. And of course, a performance like this is going to make everybody think twice when they say Jin Air is going to get down against CJ Entis in the playoffs, possibly if they go up against each other. Every single team in the top 4 here now. It's CJ Entis, then Jin Air, SK Telecom, and then, of course, KT. But any of those teams could win. I would favor probably CJ and Jin Air. Like you were saying before, the two telecom companies kind of fallen off a little bit compared to their, 1-2 seeds from last season. But they're still contenders, and it's anybody's playoffs for round 2.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw in round 1, T1 made it, and they were up against Jin Air. But now CJ is just on top, like way, way, way up there, way ahead. But Jin Air showing that they are pretty even with them. In fact, they're trying to argue the opposite, that they're ahead. They're better than them. We won with a 3-0 today. We brought our A game. And I guarantee you CJ brought their A game as well. It's not like them saying, oh, well, we're first no matter what. They want to get that perfect score. That's never been done before, and it still will not be done, as they do end up getting 3-0'd today.
And outplayed in every game, just outthought. Even SOS against Hero, the Magician, he hides that base, he gets ahead. Hero is totally fooled, has his pants down in front of the audience, and then Maru, 5-Rax Reaper, doesn't get scouted. Kind of a build-order win. He makes it work, and he takes out Builder. And then, of course, Rogue with a very nice follow-up win to take out Hush. And the final stats of round 2, Hero is on top, 11-4. He doesn't take his win today. Stats takes a win. Rogue takes a win. He's up at 9-2. Maru takes a win, 9-4. The Elder's not going to win, so he stays down there at 9 wins. Yep. And Life comes up, ties with Lucira, the guy he beats.
Stats up there with 10, just 1 win away. Not able to crack Hero just yet.
Mm-hmm. We didn't get to see Cure versus Byung. Kind of disappointed about that one.
Me too. All right, so we already talked about all these final scores. Here's where we are at. Samsung and MVP, the fact that MVP falls down to 6 does hurt them for points going into the final. playoff rounds, and here we are with those points. So why don't you talk about that a little bit here?
Yeah, SK Telecom T1. They got first last time. They're back in the playoffs this time at rank 3 for now. They're up there at 182 guaranteed points. I think this is like
It's the adjusted
first
points, right?
Yeah, well, the first place team for winning a round in the playoffs gets 40, and the second place gets 10. And I'm not sure about the other two teams. I think they just get third and fourth place points.
I don't know if these points are adjusted either, because last season we had our points up here shown with like worst case scenario for all the teams in the playoff, like where they're going to be worst case scenario, even if they lose in their first match or their second match based on seeding. But I don't know if this is actually that way. But we are going to jump into that interview. It looks like